Mookie Betts, though. Let's talk about Mookie Betts. And I apologize to Mookie Betts for getting this late in the episode before we really brought him up. But my goodness. And I'm going to talk about him because he's on my fantasy squad. And he's also, if you recall, if you haven't listened to the Hot Takes and Predictions episode, give you a little bit of a preview here. First of all, why haven't you? Second of all, you need to do that like now, as we're still only a few games into the season. You still got time to get caught up and understand what we're all about this year in 2024. Because look, we're going to be referencing that episode and the predictions we made in that episode all year long. So just a little plug here for the Hot Takes and Predictions episode. If you haven't listened to it, do it now. Finish this episode and then to go do it. So cue it up. Mookie Betts, my 2024 MVP pick. And just as a little spoiler, again, for those of you who haven't listened to the Hot Takes and Predictions episode, I also said that he was going to transition to shortstop and win a Gold Glove. And I mean, the guy is playing at an elite level right now on both sides of the ball. And I think he had like a little bit of a, was it a throwing error? Maybe on Thursday or Saturday. I can't remember. But that aside, playing phenomenal baseball. He homered. I don't believe he homered tonight. Sunday Night Baseball against the Cardinals. But entering Sunday Night Baseball, he had homered in 4 straight games. Shout out to Xavier Scruggs. He tweeted, he said Mookie Betts is the first player with an OPS above 2,000 and 10 plus RBIs over his first 5 games of a season. Remember, Dodgers Padres played 2 in Korea, so he had a little bit of I'll say a head start to the season. So he, through first 5 games of the season, the first to do that. Again, first player with OPS above 2,000 and 10 plus RBIs over his first 5 games of a season since Barry Bonds in 2002. If you know anything about baseball, you know anything about Barry Bonds, that's probably the best company that you can have from a statistical standpoint. Forget the storylines and narratives around Barry Bonds. Statistically, that's good company. And I think we can safely assume Mookie Betts is free and clear of any substances in that regard. So just know he's probably doing it. He's probably doing it clean. Okay. So, clap it up for Mookie Betts. Opta Stats also going with another nugget here. Opta Stats tweeted, since RBI became official, only two major league players have had a 4-game span with 9+ hits, 9 RBI, 6 walks, 4 home runs, and a 600+ batting average. One is Mookie Betts, and of course, this was entering Sunday Night Baseball, so this was prior to Sunday's game. The other, Babe Ruth. So when I say he's playing at an elite clip, that's not hyperbole. That's not like I'm not blowing that out of proportion. He's legitimately, I know the Dodgers are what now? Did they play a 4-game series against the Cardinals? 3-game? Either way, like 5-6 games in. I know it's early. There's not a hotter hitter on the planet right now than Mookie Betts, and just player in general. I think I saw, let me pull this up. I don't know how accurate it is at this point. But I believe, let me see here. Yes, at Yankee World on Twitter, he says, he tweeted, Mookie Betts is leading the league in every hitting stat imaginable while also being first in defensive run saves as a shortstop. So he tweeted this out 12 hours ago. So prior to Sunday Night Baseball, he had 3 defensive runs saved as a shortstop. And as I mentioned, it's just lighting the world on fire from the plate at the dish offensively. So it's incredible to see him starting off this year the way he is, with the pressures I think that are inherent with this 2024 Dodgers team coming into the season. And not to mention, he's got the soundbite of saying, every team that, or I'm paraphrasing, but basically saying like, it's going to be every team that plays us World Series whenever they take on the Dodgers. And look, man, he's not wrong. I'm not going to go out and say they're going to win 140 games, but like, the reality is this is on paper, at least, this is the team to beat. And we all know that it doesn't necessarily ever really pan out the way it should on that paper says it should, because baseball doesn't work that way. And I said it myself, you're a fool to think that this Dodgers team is just going to cakewalk to the World Series. That's just not how baseball works. It's never that easy. But again, on paper, in the early going here with star power, the Dodgers have the target on their back. And so for him to come out and kind of, walk the walk a little bit, I gotta show love to my man Mooks, man. He's doing the thing. And a position change should not be laughed at. You shouldn't be turning your nose up at that, because that's a huge deal. And I understand he came up as an infielder in the minor leagues. I get that in the Red Sox system. I understand that, but doing your thing out in the outfield for as long as he has been over the last number of years, to then transition back, you may as well be starting from scratch. I mean, yeah, like I said, you come up in the system as a minor leaguer or as an infielder, but like you lose that if you're not taking those reps every day. That you get a little rusty in that regard. So for him to have the spring that he did in terms of shaking that rust off, and to be able to catapult into this start, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of that. And again, as somebody who chose Mookie Betts as a National League MVP, I'm pretty thrilled about that.